I'm Bill. My wife and I bought this travel trailer. It's a 1993 Award 27 foot. We really liked it, but we wanted a slide out. Everybody thought I couldn't do it. Well, I did it. It was a lot of work, but it was definitely worth it. I made a template of the outside of the trailer. So I knew exactly where everything was going. And I built the slide out in my shop in pieces. And then I brought it and I put it together inside the trailer in pieces, slid it against the wall, and then made a tracing around so I got an exact cut. When I did the front, I basically did this just like you would do a boat with ribs. And put all of the pieces in forms and wetted them down and bent them. A lot of the trailers, they come square in the front. I made this rounded to match this so I could bring it, because otherwise it would have had to been in here. And that made it bigger. And it's the only one I've ever seen with a rounded front. The only thing that I ended up changing, I ended up putting this piece of steel up here as a strong back, because I didn't have enough distance with the top from here up to have an actual beam in there. And that was the only thing that actually got added as I went along. We really liked the trailer. I didn't want to get a different trailer. I like this trailer because it's low and it's aerodynamic. And one of the reasons that I did it is because a lot of people told me I couldn't. My wife included. She was not a happy camper when I started this project. She's now thrilled with it. So for the guys whose wives say, oh, you can't do that, yeah, you can. The day I cut the hole in the side, that was one of those ones where you stand back and you say, all right, am I really doing the right thing when you grab a saber saw and you cut the side of your trailer out? But it all worked out really good. I'm really happy with it. It's amazing how much 32 inches makes for room inside. We're gonna slide it out and show underneath what I did, how I put it together. Well, when I did this, I did it the same as I did the front. I made that like ribs on a boat. And I bent plywood inside and outside. And then this is PVC plastic sheeting that you can buy at Home Depot. Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. And it's totally impervious to the weather. And it was a perfect application for this. When I originally did this, I got a hold of some 2x6 clear and I was going to stain it. And I decided afterwards it didn't take stain. So I trimmed this all in oak to match all the rest. And as you can see, the cupboard is where it originally was. The dinette is where it originally was. Everything is pretty much in the same spot that it originally was. Only now it slides out. And the other thing I did was my wife's reading light. One of the problems after we got into it, figured out where everything was going to be, was the cupboard was here. I couldn't find any more ceiling material, so I made this panel and put lights in, and that eliminates where the cupboard used to be. And the other thing we had was we had a shelf over here that my wife wanted her little shelf, so we did that. The only thing is you have to make sure that that's folded down before you slide the slide out back in. Now, one of the things that I wasn't sure how it was going to work, I was originally going to put a slide rail on each side with a roller. And then I discovered that if you take the floor and I covered the bottom of the floor with a tarp material, with just a tarp like you buy at Home Depot, and it slides on the carpet. So the only thing other than the slide rail outside holding it up, it's just sitting and sliding in and out on the carpet, and it works. This came out like this, so I had to cut this and bring it in so there was enough clearance for this. And in doing the trim, the square pieces were easy. This round piece took a lot of soaking and a lot of bending and a jig to make that curve. And it took me longer to do this than it did to do all the rest together. That was not easy. Well, I had to figure out a way to make the electrical so it was movable. And I basically just used a piece of hose and a couple of pieces of PVC pipe. And it is a 6-foot piece of hose with all my wires running through, and it bends as the unit comes in and out.